Why does it feel like we're alone in this battle? It all started with a sound nobody could explain. The sun was barely up when 11-year-old Noah Granger heard it. A loud boom that rattled the windows of his small house in Pine Creek, Alabama. He jumped out of bed, heart thudding in his chest like a runaway train. Please, before we start, it would mean a lot if you could stick around until the end of this story. Your support gives life to words that inspire and encourage. Noah, get down here, his mom shouted from the kitchen. He scrambled downstairs 2 steps at a time, his socked feet sliding across the wooden floor. The news was on, the screen flashing emergency alert in big, red letters. His little sister, Ellie, clutched her stuffed bear tighter, eyes wide. A voice from the TV crackled. An unknown event has shaken the town of Pine Creek. Citizens are advised to stay indoors and pray for protection. Pray. That wasn't something you usually heard on TV. Noah's dad turned down the volume, his face pale. Kids, we need to stay calm. God is with us. But if God was with them, why did it feel like they were the only ones even trying? Noah's mind raced. Was this the beginning of the end? The pastor at church always talked about battles between good and evil. He just didn't think it would show up on a quiet Tuesday morning. Suddenly, the ground shook again. Dishes fell off the counters. Pictures swung on the walls. A low rumble echoed from deep in the earth, like something ancient had just woken up. We have to go, Dad said, grabbing the car keys. Get your shoes on, now. The family hurried outside, the morning air heavy and still. No birds sang, no cars passed. Even the neighbor's barking dog was silent. The whole town felt frozen. As they drove, Noah noticed strange things. Stores with boarded-up windows, churches with broken crosses, and a giant crack slicing right through Main Street like a scar. They pulled up to their church, a small white building with a steeple so tall Noah used to think it touched the clouds. Half the roof was gone. Smoke curled from the windows. People huddled outside. The pastor, Miss Judy from the choir, Mr. Hamilton, who taught Sunday school. They looked scared but determined. Pastor Lee stepped forward. We need to pray, right here, right now. This is a battle for our souls. Noah glanced around. Only about 20 people had come, out of the whole town. Where is everybody? Ellie whispered. Pastor Lee's voice cracked. Some lost hope, some chose fear over faith. Noah's stomach twisted. Why did it feel like they were fighting this alone? As they joined hands and prayed, another explosion rocked the ground. Out of the smoke and dust came figures, shadows in long black coats, faces hidden under wide-brimmed hats. They moved fast, too fast, and wherever they stepped, the grass withered. They're not human, Dad whispered. Noah squeezed his dad's hand tighter. He felt something stir deep inside, a strange, burning courage he didn't know he had. Pastor Lee shouted over the roaring wind. Stand firm, God is with us. The dark figures drew closer. One of them pointed directly at Noah. His knees wobbled, but he didn't let go of the prayer circle. Then boom, a blast of light shot down from the sky, slamming into the ground between them and the figures. The earth cracked open, and the shadows recoiled, hissing like steam. A voice, louder than thunder but softer than a whisper, filled Noah's ears. You are not alone. Stand strong. Tears filled his eyes. He wasn't sure if anyone else heard it, but he believed it was real. The figures disappeared into the smoke, but Pastor Lee warned, they'll be back. This isn't over. Noah's heart pounded. He looked around at the trembling, bruised crowd. They were scared. Some even looked ready to run. And yet, they stayed. The next few days were like something out of a movie. Blackouts rolled through town. Strange symbols appeared on walls overnight. Some folks, even strong Christians, gave up, locked their doors, and refused to come out. Noah's family stayed. Every day, they helped rebuild the church. They handed out food. They prayed with anyone who asked. Some days it felt useless. Other days, a tiny glimmer of hope poked through the darkness. One afternoon, while fixing the broken bell tower, Noah spotted something odd. A girl about his age stood by the cracked sidewalk, holding a glowing book. She wasn't from Pine Creek. He was sure of it. She wore a simple white dress, no shoes, and her hair blew wild in the wind. He climbed down and approached carefully. Hey, he said, trying to sound braver than he felt. Are you lost? The girl looked up, and her eyes, so bright and deep they seemed to see inside him, locked onto his. You're chosen, she said simply, holding out the book. Noah hesitated. Chosen for what? Before he could ask, the ground shook again. Screams echoed from the other side of town. Fire rose in the distance. The girl shoved the book into his hands. It was warm, almost alive. When the battle seems darkest, the light inside you will shine the brightest, she said. Then, just like that, she vanished into the wind. Noah ran back to his family, the book tucked under his jacket. He didn't tell them about the girl. Not yet. Somehow, he knew he wasn't supposed to. That night, by flashlight, he opened the book. Instead of words, pictures danced across the pages. Visions of battles, storms, victories, and hope. In the middle of it all, he saw himself standing on a hill, holding the book high, surrounded by a great army of light. He closed it quickly, his heart racing. God, is that really me? He whispered. The next morning, the sky was darker than ever. The wind howled. Trees bent under invisible hands. But Noah wasn't scared anymore. He tucked the book into his backpack, pulled on his jacket, and marched downstairs where his family waited. Today wasn't about hiding. Today was about fighting back, not with fists, but with faith. The battle wasn't over. It was just beginning. Thank you for being part of this adventure with us. If you felt something special in this story, please like, subscribe, and share where you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear your story too.